with regard to the trip over there, some of these trips had a little bit of controversy. I know that Al Franken actually didn't have the best experience over there. I guess he was trying to tell a joke, and I don't think it went well. There's a pretty famous picture that's out there. I don't even know if we can show it on YouTube, but he is reaching towards a woman who's dressed in full military garb. It looks like she's asleep, and it looks like his hands are going in for a little honk honk, I believe is maybe the way to describe it. I don't know what we can or can't say here, but I am curious. Do you remember anything about that controversy or hearing about that? And did you think, oh, we're going to get some of that on us with the WWE too?
I was there for this trip with Al Franken. I was like, I can't emphasize this enough. And I don't know what happened. I think it was Sweden. I can't remember the young lady's name. She was like a very, very beautiful young lady. We had a couple. Carrie Turner was there on a bunch of tours also, but this was not Carrie. This is another young lady that was there. That was, famous, very, very beautiful girl. Al's a good dude. He wrote for SNL, real funny guy. Then later became a senator, and I was over there with Al a bunch of times. Now, Al and I see things. He sees it as black. I see it as white. As far as politically, we're very different. But his love of the troops is absolutely unmatched. He would go over there, and there's me, him, Daryl Worley, and Mark Wills, and he would go over there and stay with the troops. He had a hilarious skit night after night after night. In fact, we were in Abu Ghraib. There he is right there dressed as Saddam Hussein. And this is how he's dressed when we were in Abu Ghraib. And he's out there with Carrie Turner, and he's handcuffed just like he is there. And he's handcuffed, and we get mortared during their performance. And I've never been mortared before. And part of the skit was he was looking for his boys, Uday and Usay. In real life, Uday and Usay had just been killed. That was part of the skit. And so it's real funny. It's never night. It's getting funnier and funnier. Him and Carrie Turner were great together. We get mortared, and some guy yells, "Run to the bunker, run to the bunker." I don't know where the bunker is. I've never been in a bunker in my life. And so I'm sitting there, me and Al Franken, I'm right behind him on stage. I'm not part of the skit, but I'm watching because it's so funny. And, I respect also for Al, being there for him. And I look and I go, where'd I go? Well, I'm following Al. Al's right in front of me. We're following people running downstairs because mortars are going off everywhere. And we get in this bunker. And it's not that tall. I can't remember how tall, but 5.5, 6 foot tall. So you couldn't quite stand up. And I look around, and there's Al Franken dressed as Saddam Hussein as we're getting bombed by the Iraqis in a bunker with me. And the guy with the key to the handcuffs is in the other bunker. So Al had to sit there the whole time we get mortared, not knowing what would happen, handcuffed, dressed as Saddam Hussein.
What a freaking story. What a life you've lived. I do want to ask, because I think there's a story out there about a chopper crash, or maybe it wasn't really a crash, but I know it gave a real scare. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and I'll get back to Al Franken about what happened with the picture, because I was there right beside the picture.
Wait, you were there when the picture was being taken?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I don't remember it. So the picture that he took, if you can put it up, he's got this young lady, and apparently they got at odds somehow. I don't know what happened. Now, she had alleged some stuff happened in a rehearsal where maybe he tried to kiss her or something as part of the rehearsal. That's what was alleged. I don't know if any of that happened or if all of it happened. All I know is I know Al well, his brother, his wife. He's a terrific person as far as I know, and he should have never stepped down as senator. That was during a time when they were canceling everybody. He really regrets it to this day, stepping down, because he stepped down over this picture that's out there, and he shouldn't have done it, because nothing was alleged of assault or anything like that, except for maybe the one time during the rehearsal, something. I don't know. I was there the whole tour. I never heard any of it. Now, that doesn't mean that any of it or all of it didn't happen. I don't know. I just know it doesn't sound like Al. But again, I'm not picking a side here, except for Al's my friend, and he did some great stuff with the troops. But that picture came about, and I was on that C-110. That's what it was a C-110 plane. Next to Al is Mark Wills, the country singer. I always sat next to Mark. Now, Mark is sound asleep in the picture. Al's brother, Owen, was a photographer. He lived in Paris. He's the one that, from what I heard, took the picture. I know there's been dispute over that, but I got that from one of the Army guys who allegedly either saw it or whatever else. I don't remember the picture because I was obviously asleep. Mark Wills was asleep too. Thank God I wasn't in the photo, because I think I was 5 feet from that picture. I was on the plane. There's no doubt about that. I was sitting next to Mark Wills. Well, Al goes up and he's like, he's going to grab her breast, but he's not grabbing her breast. He's taking a picture to send to her as a joke.
Right.
It's a bad joke. It's in terrible taste. I get all that. It wasn't, Al did it as a joke. Anyway, when that picture came out, that's when the whole cascade of dominoes started happening and falling, and Al ended up resigning as being a senator because of that photo. And, you know, the allegations from the young lady about the stuff, which, again, I didn't hear any of it. I was almost in the photo, and I didn't see it. I was obviously, just like Mark Wills was asleep, because I'd have remembered it. If I saw the photo and it caused the senator to step down, I would have remembered that. And plus, thank God I wasn't. If he's sitting there like that, and me sitting there looking, like all of a sudden seeing it, I'd look like I was complicit with it. But it was a stupid joke that he pulled, inappropriate joke, but that's what it was. It's not something, in my opinion, that he should ever step down as being a senator for. Because as much as Al and I disagree on politics, we agree in our love for the country. And you need people like that want to be a senator for the right reasons and not because they don't have another job. And I thought Al did a wonderful job as a senator. I saw him a little bit after this, 2000, I can't remember. It was when George Bush was running against John Kerry. And I spoke at the Republican National Convention in Madison Square Garden for George Bush because I liked him as a Texan and I was not a fan of John Kerry. And I go backstage and there's Radio Row and there's Al Franken back up there. And I said, oh my God, there's my friend Al. So I go up there to see Al and security almost jumps me. Al had just got into a wrestling match with some conservative host. Al is very passionate. They literally got into like a physical altercation. Well, they think I'm coming after Al. And so when I go back there, I go, what the hell are you guys doing? And they're like, security's everywhere. They go, what do you want? I go, I want Al Franken. They're going, no, you can't get him. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. No, I said, I had no idea what had happened because I was speaking. And then Al sees me and goes, no, he's fine. So I was the only person that wasn't a liberal that got to go back to his got to go back to his radio show.
What a crazy freaking story, man. I got to hear the story about Ron Simmons and the chopper.
Oh yeah, we're up near somewhere, and I'm gonna get all these names and places wrong. I tried to look some of it up on the internet to figure out, it was a long time ago, and every place looked the same. Understand? Outside, when you had the Tigris and Euphrates River in Iraq, wherever the water ended, it was like a line. Like on 2 inches of this line, it's desert. 2 inches of this line, it's grass. It was like that. So these places, unless you're in that delta, that delta there. It was a horrible country, and it all looked the same. It was a shits. It was terrible. So we're somewhere up north, and we're coming in for a combat landing. If you've ever done a combat landing, man, it is insane. So like in a plane, you'll fly way above the mortar fire where they can get you. And then when you get into the safe zone, you literally just spiral straight down. So guys used to put guys in the front because it scared them to death. Because it looks like you're just going straight into the ground when you're up front. When you're in the back, it just feels like a crazy roller coaster, and all of a sudden you're sideways, going straight down. You do that to avoid enemy fire. So we're in a Black Hawk helicopter, and we didn't know we were going into a hot zone. I can't remember when it was in a period of the war, but it was one of the periods where we were in control. The Allies were in control, so it wasn't as bad as it was certain times we were there. And we come in, and all of a sudden we're flying along the river, and you'd also fly along the river because they couldn't moor you from the river. And you'd fly as fast as those choppers would go, and you're just above the water. It was wild flying in combat zones. And we're flying into this hot zone, and all of a sudden we go up high, and then we just come straight down and land. Well, one of the choppers with us had clipped a pole, like a soccer goal or something, for the landing area, or like a telephone pole or something. So the chopper did crash, but it wasn't like the chopper got shot out of the sky or something. I don't want to overstate something on the show. I'm trying to, be fair. It was a crash, and it wrecked the chopper, where the chopper couldn't fly out. And so we're part of all this. The guy says, "Put your hat on, sir. Put your hat on." The Kevlar hat, because I had it off because we were in a pretty safe area. And I didn't know we're in a hot zone. I said, oh, shit, we're in a hot zone. So we're having to run through this barbed wire maze through actual residential area to get to where we need to be, where is the safe zone. And so I'm sitting there, and there's bombs going off everywhere around us. And I mean, close to us. And there's big smoke pillars are coming up. I had no idea these were our bombs. They're our bombs in case there's a sniper in the area. There's probably, they took such good care of us. I guarantee there wasn't a sniper in the area. There wasn't anybody who's going to shoot us in the area. There were soldiers with their hands on the trigger. If somebody moved, they died instantly. I mean, I don't think we were in any danger whatsoever, but we didn't know this. We just know the chopper's been crashed. Bombs are going off all around us. And we don't know they're our bombs. We have no idea what's happening. There's dead dogs everywhere because dogs were feral, and so they give away your position, so soldiers had to shoot them. I don't know this. I just know like we're going through Armageddon here. This is what the hell. The world is ending. And as we go through the last maze and we're about to get to the safe zone, Ron looks back at me in his Kevlar helmet and he goes, you know, I'd have mailed them a fucking autograph. I said, me too.